Thank you so much, Friedrich, for inviting me to this conference, and thank you, IKEA, for the support for the ride around Iceland. So you saw the bike outside. I did a 12-day ride, just finished day before yesterday. I'm a bit tired, but I'll try to brief you through the project which I started in India. So the name of the project is the Sun PedalRide. So I come from a village in South India, where for the first 10 years of my life, I haven't seen power so much, so I haven't seen lighting a lot. Then I moved to Mumbai when I was 11 years old, so that's when things changed. And that's when I realized that people in India, especially in villages and towns, there's a lack of awareness about clean energy, solar energy, which can actually empower their lives. And this is one of the mediums through which I'm trying to promote clean energy in India. And that's when I started this project called the Sun PedalRide. It is basically going around on tours on solar-powered electric bicycles and visiting a lot of schools, colleges, universities, villages, corporate organizations, and raising awareness about clean energy, the current scenario of solar energy in India, for example. So this is a village that I come from. In fact, my house is just behind the small hut over there. So just to give a brief idea about India, 29 states, 7 union territories, and it's culturally very diverse. There are about 30 plus languages in India. So it becomes a very big challenge to promote clean energy in such a diverse, culturally diverse nation. So that's what I realized while doing this big ride around India. So I'll just brief you through a couple of facts about India. Per capita electricity consumption is just 1,000 kilowatt hour per year compared to other developed nations, for example. And then we see that the energy demand is growing because population is growing in India. It's a developing nation. And still, India runs on coal majorly. As you can see, more than 50% is coal in India. And renewables, as of now, it's 20% of the energy mix. And India has set a huge target to have 100 gigawatt of installed solar power by 2022. And currently, we have around 15 gigawatts. So it's a huge, ambitious target. So a lot of stakeholders have to come together to make sure that this target is achieved. So awareness is a key aspect of to make sure this target is achieved. And I'll just quickly move through some slides here because I have many. So this is a sustainability development goal in India. You have 220 million people who lack access to electricity. And also there are like 40 million households which are currently still unelectrified in India, which is a huge number. So what we need is awareness right now in India. So that's why I started this project called the Sun PedalRide. And I'll just brief you through what my experience was during the journey. So I did this big journey on a solar-powered electric bicycle. So I took an electric bike. I attached a big cart behind it, a trailer, which had solar panels on it. And we attached a small circuit which allowed the simultaneous charging and discharging of the battery. So we just added this between the solar panel and the battery so that it charges as well as discharges continuously when there's sunlight. And I did this big journey, 79 days, 7,424 kilometers. It was a Guinness World Record for the longest electric bicycle journey in India. So this was the actual route. Started from Mumbai, went towards Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, which is the northwest part of India. And I did a big loop coming towards central India and back to Mumbai. Those were the number of calories that I actually burnt. But it was an electric bike, so I did not actually burn so many calories. We had a lot of sponsors. So when it comes to branding and communications, which we are talking about in this conference, I pitched this idea to a lot of corporate organizations who actively supported this project in India, and because they found that there's an actual need in India. So we had Intersolar India, which was the major sponsor. And then BSNL, which is basically a telecom company in India. And then Mahindra, I'm sure some of you might have heard the Mahindra group. So they also kind of supported the journey. We had Zoom Car, which is like a self-driving rental car company in India. So they gave us an SUV as a support vehicle. This was the execution team. I was riding the bicycle. There were three of my friends who volunteered to join in the journey. So there were 2 bikers, there was 1 driver. We had a lot of solar products in the support vehicle, which we donated to the villagers along the way as well. These were some of. I'll just run you through the images because I have too many slides. These were the seminars we gave. So we met a lot of students, corporate organizations, universities. This is a typical village stop. So the solar bicycle was very, very visible because of the solar panel. It didn't look like a bicycle in the end because it was very huge. So we had a lot of people inquiring about how the system works. So this is a typical village stop. So we went via village roads, and we stopped at on the side. So they are called dhabas in India. Dhaba is basically an eatery, roadside eatery in India. So a lot of people were very curious to learn about the solar panel and how it works. So this was like a conversation starter on the road. So yeah, in India, so this is a place in Gujarat. There are 9th grade kids. So we stopped at a school, and one of my teammates, he spoke the local language. So I did not know the local language of the state. So one of the teammates, he's on the mic there. So he's talking in the local language so that the students understand what we are doing. So it was culturally, so this is where the cultural aspect comes into the picture, where we actually had local translators also to make sure so that we make them understand what we are doing. It was very hot. We did it in peak of summer in India. Temperatures rose up to 45 degrees Celsius, especially in Rajasthan. So it was quite a big, quite a challenging task. We were hosted by a lot of people, so interesting conversations in the night with people in the local communities to talk about solar energy as well. Again, a lot of images. We also contacted radio stations on the way. So many of the radio stations were happy to promote what we are doing. We were stopped by the police because they didn't understand what the thing was. So, so we were stopped at many locations during the journey, but we had to make them understand that this is what we are doing. And they helped us in the end. So they were cooperative. So these were like typical kind of stops. You will see a lot of images in my presentation. So yeah, coming to the outreach. So in India, as I said, there are 30 plus languages, and it was important to cover this kind of an awareness cause in all the local languages in India. So you see different scripts. So each language has a different script in India. So you have Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Punjabi. So they're all different languages. So you see we got a lot of media coverage, and we made sure that we had local media covering this event. And so out of the entire journey in India, we had like 30 plus planned MOUs with universities which we have visited during the journey. And we partnered with a university in India to conduct workshops in these different universities and schools which we visited during the journey. And also we had, for the brands who were associated with the project, they got a lot of increase in brand awareness and brand value and outreach. And obviously a lot of offline and online publicity via the project. I also published an ebook about the journey in India. So if you are interested to learn more about how each and every day went by, feel free to just Google the Sun PedalRide ebook. It's on Kindle. And we are also raising funds via the sale of the ebook to get solar power in a village in Rajasthan. So we kind of partnered with an NGO, and the sale of the ebook, the funds go towards raising to getting solar power for this village. Again, so I did this in France and California last year. I think I'm already out of time, so I'm not going to spend too much time on these. So basically, it's again the plan was similar: go on a solar-powered electric bicycle and interact with as many people as possible, and tell them about what's happening in the current scenario in the clean energy sector. Again, we got media outreach, and this was in California, San Francisco to San Diego last year. We were 3 of us. 1 was solar-powered bike, and 2 were e-bikes. I'll quickly run through because I'm already out of time. Uh, Yes, you see a lot of images about where we went. So we were at the Solar Power International Conference. Solar Edge was one of our major sponsors for the ride in France and California. We got coverage in the PV magazine and Red Bull. We are in touch with the International Solar Alliance, which is a joint collaboration between the government of India and government of France, where solar power is being promoted between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So we are trying to get this project under one of their programs as well for greater outreach. So yeah, coming to Iceland, started 12 days ago. So on 11th September, I was in Mumbai. It was 30 degrees Celsius. On 12th September, 5 degrees Celsius. Cold, windy. So it was a very contrasting experience. The winds are crazy here. I have experienced it while biking. I'm sure you have, like, within Reykjavik, it's still okay. But if you go around the ring road, super windy, very crazy, crazy environment. But it was fun. The highlands on the north are very interesting, many mountain ranges on the top. And the south coast is amazing, very beautiful views. Here are some of our images of the ride. We used a Volkswagen e-Golf as a support vehicle. And my friend Louis, unfortunately, is not here. He's doing his master's in sustainable energy at the Icelandic School of Energy. He shifted all his exams because of this ride. And all of his exams are now. So unfortunately, he cannot make it. Yeah, we saw Northern Lights almost every day. I think out of 12 days, we saw 5 days of Northern Lights. Very interesting country. Yeah, we were faced by clouds as well, a lot of cloudy weather. Not much sun, I must say. And we saw a nice, so I took time off in Vik. So one day I took time off and I enjoyed a bit of nature in Iceland. It's a very beautiful country. If you have time tomorrow, go towards the south coast. It's very good. Yeah, I think I should stop. I have taken like too much time. Thank you so much.